Hell, this is me, Brian. Right, I hope the volume's turned up because I don't have the microphone plugged in. Anyway, sorry. Um, I was thinking all this coronavirus stuff, you know, what I'm saying, brought back a memory, right? That all of this stuff is like bad. It's bad anyway. I mean, anytime something like this gets turned loose into the world, right, and a lot of people get affected, right? I mean, anything is possible. Anything can happen. I mean, from this point forward, right? You know what I'm saying? It's not going to get better until it gets worse, and then once it's worse, then it'll start getting better. That makes sense? Somewhere it does. Anyways, I wanted to tell you guys a story. The story, you know, it's when I was, back in prison. This episode occurred somewhere like around September. If I remember right, it was right around September of 2018, 2019. Yeah, it was just before I got out, a couple of months just before I got out, 2019. Right. We called all the guys in the yard, we called it the plague. Right. Basically, what it was is I mean, the yard where I was at, there was two sides. You know what I'm saying? They roughly had like around, almost 1,400, convicts, right? Divided between the two sides. It wasn't, exactly split even, but it was pretty close, right? It started with a couple of guys from the South Yard that worked in the kitchen, right? And they got sick. It started out relatively simple, pretty easy, kind of like the flu, right? Coughing and yakking, saying didn't feel good, headache all the time, right? Didn't want to eat, didn't want to sleep, they were just, totally in general, just blasé, like the flu, right? And it started in just a couple of guys, you know what I'm saying? And then, they infected a couple other guys and then a couple more guys and then pretty soon, because you're in a closed-in, environment. I mean, there's 800 guys, you know what I'm saying? And, in a yard area that's, there's 4 buildings, right? I mean, the building I lived in, like on the run I lived on Charlie Run, there was 52 individuals lived in a box, that was like, 25 feet wide, like 70 feet long, like maybe 10 feet, 12 feet high. That was it. And there were, bunk beds. There were 26 bunk beds, up and down the walls, right? And there was, 3 toilets. There was 4 urinals. There was 3 showers. There was 4 sinks, right? For 52 guys, believe it or not, yeah, all right. And some of them weren't exactly always, hygienic, right? But anyways, and once this sickness, right, once it, took hold and, like 10, 15 guys were infected, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they were, because you have to put in an H&R to go see the nurse. And then the nurse decides if you're sick enough or hurt enough or whatever, right, if you get to see the doctor, and that might not be for another week or so. But by the time the first original guy put in his H&R, and just said, hey, I'm sick, I want to see the doctor, it was too late. There was already like 40 guys that were already infected, right? And it got the attention of the security staff, the captain. And the captain's like, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? And so they, brought in all the rats and, what's going on? Because normally, when the sickness goes around, it doesn't spread that fast, right? It takes, a couple of months, it goes all around, everybody gets, half the people get sick. All the healthy dudes, eat right, work out, drink a lot of water. They don't, me, at this point, I was the bathroom porter. That was my job. I was the one that cleaned the bathroom all the time. So, and plus, I know how not to get sick and how to stay clean, right? But anyways, I mean, after like about 2 weeks, when like, they finally, tested somebody to figure out what the hell this was, right? It was too late. And it was spreading, I mean, rapidly. I mean, like 10, 12, 15 guys a day were ending up sick, right? And like, and in the very beginning, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it's just, like had a cold or a mild case of flu or some stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then, but like 3 or 4 days into it, you were like seriously sick, hacking stuff up, spitting out this green shit. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to do anything. You didn't want to eat. Right, you barely want to drink water. You know what I'm saying? When you went to the bathroom, you just saw liquid, right? And it just worse and worse. You had a fever. You always had low grade fever, always, All right. After about 3 weeks, right, and there was, at least 200 people, 200 guys, were sick. And now, at this point, right, they decided to lock it, because, the job was still open. Both sides are still, everybody's still going to work, still going to chow hall, still going to the library, touching everything, spreading the germs everywhere. Seeing some of the staff people were getting sick, right? Well, like 3 weeks, a month into it, seeing like about a third of the yard was sick. I mean, like deathly sick. And one guy was so sick they had to air back his ass up to Phoenix, saying to get sent to the hospital to figure out what was wrong with it, right? Well, once the deputy warden decided what the hell they were going to do, they did it. And this is what they decided to do, right? One morning, right, I used to get up early to go eat breakfast because, I started work at 7 o'clock, right? I got up, everybody got just all ready to go, but the cops never came up in the door, right? And, after, like about an hour, the guy that was in charge of the run went up there and said, hey, man, what's going on? What's going on? And the cops told him, well, you guys are locked down, quarantine. Quarantine? What the hell for? Because everybody's sick, right? And so, eventually, what ended up happening, they locked us down for, 15 days. I'm straight 15 days. And then on the 16th day, somebody, hey, man, you going to let us out? They said, no. I said, why not? Because not everybody's sick yet. Not everybody's sick yet. And then at that point, it was like about a month and a half or so in to the plague, right? And pretty much everybody had it. Those few people that didn't, they were like paranoid, scared to death, and they started bringing the lady. They would bring the lady for the Center for Disease Control, the opposite Phoenix. They'd bring her down like every other day, and she'd walk up down the road with her mask and her gloves. Security people with their mask and their gloves, right? And then they would, talk to people. They didn't want. This was the weird thing. They didn't want to talk to anybody that was sick. They only wanted to talk to the people that weren't sick, and they wanted to know why they hadn't got sick yet. What were you doing? What were you doing different, right? And eventually it leaked out. The information leaked out as to why they locked us down and they kept us locked down. Because they brought us a food. And they even brought in, right, a kitchen crew from a different yard to cook the food so that nobody was contaminated that was working in the kitchen. And then they did the whole bleached out, scrubbed down the kitchen thing, right? Well, this was the story. The reason they locked us down and quarantined us, right, was because there was at least 1 or 2 people on every run in all 8 buildings that were sick. They wanted everyone to get sick, right, so that we would build, antibodies, our autoimmune system would kick in, and we'd all, after, once we stopped being sick, right, you'd be, have some kind of semblance of immunity to this thing. Well, you know what the truth is, right? But all this went down, I still had like about, September, October, November. I still had 2.5 months to go before I got out. Right now, if you guys go back and you review the first 4, 5, 6 videos that I posted when I got out, in November, right, of last year, you'll notice that I'm sick. I have a cough. Like right now, because I have allergies right now because it's springtime. My nose is all clogged up. I have a weird voice. Well, I was still sick for like another month and a half after I got out because of this. Because of wherever the hell it was that they got, right? Well, the point of the story is this, right? That was a microcosm of the pandemic, the worldwide pandemic that this COVID-19 coronavirus is spreading around. It doesn't take much to get it. It didn't take much. I mean, I cleaned during my 6-hour shift as the bath reporter. I cleaned the bathroom at least 3 or 4 good times, and I used all the chemicals. I used bleach. Off the floor, I did the whole bit, right? And because I know, and I knew then, and I know now, and I need to know even more, right? The potential for what happens is just one person gets sick, right? Well, in the end, all 1,400 people in the yard, plus including another, maybe 10 or 12 staff people, ended up getting sick and staying sick. Right. I mean, when he came out, turned to leave, right, my buddy, Muscle, he was still sick as a dog, and he'd been sick as a dog for like a month. Right. Now, what was this? What was the sickness? No one knows. They never told. They never said. And they put a blackout on information. I mean, like this is another reason that they could lock this down, so nobody could go up there and use the phone and call their people and tell them, hey man, everybody's fucking sick. Call the fucking office, find out what's going on. There was blackout on information. And that's how the state does it, you know. So I know that a lot of people are, concerned. I know you are. I watch the TV. I watch the news. I talk to people. I have friends. You understand? I mean, me, I'm not so much concerned because I live in a place where the odds of catching, COVID-19 are, like 70-30. All right. I mean, yeah, there's a potential anybody can get it, anybody can get infected, right? But if you're healthy, right, and you have a good immune system and you do all those things, all the right things, right, and you keep your house clean and you decontaminate, right, and you don't wind yourself all up and get all stressed out about the whole thing. You're saying sure, it's always a good thing to be prepared, to be ready for anything. Right. Well, this is one of those things, one of those anythings, right, that you need to prepare for. Right. I mean, when one of my subscribers, he posted some videos. He talks all about. He's in upstate New York. Shaggy 1998. Right. This dude is, he is concerned. Right. And I don't blame him because he lives in an area where it's, there's a high rate of infection. Right. Where I live at, it's not that bad. And it could potentially get really bad because there are a lot of people here. Right, millions. There are millions of people in the city, and if that shit gets turned loose, there's no telling how many of them could die, because there are a lot of elderly people here living out there in Sun City and Sun City West, and living down there in Sun Lakes, right? And that's this disease is attacking those people whose immune system is weak or it's old, or they've been infected, with other flu-like sicknesses in the past, and they never really healed from it. Right? So the whole point of this is that the only way that you are truly going to be safe from COVID-19 is if you take those precautions and you listen. I mean, believe it or not, this is one of those times when you listen to the government, you listen to the people that are telling us what the hell is going on, right? I guarantee you they're not telling us everything that's going on, but they're telling us just enough, right, where we can take the initiative on our own and we can keep ourselves safe. And that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying. I don't want anybody to die. I don't want anybody to get sick. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want anything bad to happen to no one. Believe that or not, I don't. Right? That's why I'm concerned enough to talk about this stuff, because I know you got that. There's a lot of people that watch. There's a lot of people listening to what I'm saying. Right? Well, that's just what I'm saying. There's no need to get sick, right? When you can prevent it yourself. That's me, bro. Yeah. Am I worried about it? Not really, but I'm concerned, right? Because I have elderly friends here in Phoenix, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what the hell's going on with them, right? I mean, they made it official yesterday, they made it official yesterday. Maricopa County, they pitched it out of the wind. They declared their medical emergency and they started their protocols, right? I mean, they just like everywhere else, they closed the bars, they closed the restaurants, they closed the stores. The same people are told not to go to work, right? Just like everywhere else, it's the same shit here. Right? I mean, me, I go to work. There's only 9 people that work at the place when I'm at work. Right? And during the daytime, there's 250. But at night, in the shift I work at, there's only 9 of us. There's low potential, right, for anybody to get sick. Prevention. Right? Wash your hands. Wash your face. Wash your clothes. Spray your house. Use a disinfectant. Mop the floor. Take out the trash. Do all of those things to help yourself. This is me, Brian. Thank you.